We teach people how to treat us, and then we get mad because we are conforming to their rules of life. We're living in a time now where communication is almost at an all time low. And what you might say, what you mean about communication? We live in a generation where they really don't want to talk to you, they prefer to text. People prefer to text now instead of calling. And if you're not about that, then you might not ever really hear from those people, because now people would rather text than call. And in order for you to stay in contact with these people, now you got to conform to their way of life. We have grandchildren, a lot of us. This generation, they would not text. I mean, they would not call. They would text. And when I was growing up, and I'm quite sure if you're my age or older, when we was growing up, first of all, cell phones was nowhere around. The only thing that I was had an advantage to have when I was growing up was a beeper. And when the beepers first started, only doctors or important people or probably rich people had those things. But now we're living in a generation where kids as young as probably 6 or 7 years old have cell phones. And some of them not only have cell phones, they have iPhones. And we live in a generation in a time as grandparents where we rarely talk to our grandchildren because our grandchildren rarely calls us. Not all of us now, but there are some who often complain that they rarely hear from their grands. They rarely hear their voice. They only receive a text message. And when those young folks text them, they only want money. They only want gifts. And so now here you go conforming to the rules of the younger generation. You wasn't raised like that. You raised your kids, and you was raised where communication was very, very important. But we're living in a time where people want nothing from you but what they can get out of you. And you have to not conform to this generation. If you don't hear from people, why would you give them your money? Why would you purchase things for people that you really and truly do not have a relationship? Because the world tell you that's what you're supposed to do. The world tell you if you keep your money in your pocket, you are a bad grandparent. You're supposed to give those kids stuff. You the grandparent. That's what grandparents supposed to do. No, you don't conform to this world. You keep your money in your pocket. No matter who get mad. If they never speak to you again, so what? So what? They're not hurting anyone but themselves. Why would you give someone your earnings that you rarely never hear from? This generation in which we are living in, this is some disrespectful people. Not all of these young folk, but there is a big group of disrespectful young folks that's living in this time that we live in. And they want you to conform to their ways. If you hear not from these young folks, don't give these people your money. Don't purchase anything. Christmas just passed. And there are a lot of young folks that didn't deserve anything. Just because Christmas Day was Christmas Day, there was a lot of people that went out and spent money that they did not have. Now when the rent is due in January, now people don't have money. Now you're going to have come up with all these excuses to your landlord or to the realtor about not having their money for their mortgage or for your rent. And that should never be, because you're so busy out here trying to give kids stuff just to please them. The reason why this generation is in the situation that is in, it is too many people doing too many things that they should not do for these kids. Stop putting all your money in people that do not even respect you. They are out here disrespecting you, and you are falling prey and falling in line. You are conforming to this generation. Stop it. Keep your money in your pocket. Do not allow these folks to disrespect you any longer. This is my moment. This has been a chosen moment. Be blessed and stop it. Grandparents especially. Take care.